Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing.
That only took me 2 minutes to do. The problem is finishing it.
Were some of the pieces stolen?
I bet they were missing to begin with.
Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar.
I kind of understand how it got broken.
There must have been a massive amount of blood here. I've never seen so much before. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, Detective?
Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman is actually an alien!
This proves that something really happened in front of this locker.
I'll make a note of it on the floor plans.
Hey, if you didn't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked!
What's this? Blood?
It's a little worn, but there's definitely a handprint here.
It looks like someone tried to wipe it off.
Mr. Wright! What if there are other bloodstains left in the room?
We should use our testing fluid to check it out.
I knew it! This is someone's right handprint!
What?
What's the matter, Detective?
This locker, it's mine!
It's yours?
Please, you have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals?
This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans.
I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police.
What? But you're a detective!
Hey, pal, look at the time.
Was there something you needed to be going to?
It's just that Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna go give them my report for the day. It might help, you know.
Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer?
The one that says nothing but no problems?
Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him.
Who needs enemies when you've got friends like Detective Gumshoe?
I'm off, pal. Later.
I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say, too.
Ah, guests. My apologies.
Oh, it's you!
Have we met somewhere?
Huh?
Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long.
Is Edgeworth here?
There, standing by the window. A teacup in his hand.
Ah, it's you. He has the hotel bring him tea service?
Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry?
Precisely. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Oh, yes. He brought me some information, it seems.
Really? Was it helpful?
Apparently a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me, somehow. I think the report is on the other side, Edgeworth.
Poor Mr. Edgeworth. I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him.
So, how did the inquiry committee go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation.
Concealing evidence?
Yes. Apparently, there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney. However, something happened? They gave control of the investigation over to the police department.
The police department?
Yes. Any further investigation for this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you, why? All along I've done only what I believe is right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still... Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Oh, right, I'd better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage. Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less. Yes, that's true.
Why, Mr. Edgeworth?
Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go. By Chief Gant, no less.
The Chief of Police?
He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted me to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here.
Can I ask what kind of case it was?
I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case. I'd better make a note of it. Stubborn as always. I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It all has to do with that case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in. You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life, as I recall. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. A bad memory. He's talking about the murder in the elevator. Okay, Edgeworth. Why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of investigation was the deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky old coot was involved in the case 2 years ago then? He was the best we had, and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous.
Wow. You get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth?
What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict, and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code, and I follow it faithfully.